My name is Ruben Torres from the Reality of God Ministries. I'm recollecting some thoughts, resuming some teachings, hopefully attempting to sow a seed in somebody's life that would stimulate them towards faith, hope, and love. Some years ago, I was attempting to build a curriculum and some resources that would help the newcomers, the believers that were growing in the knowledge of the Word. And as I was building these ministry resources, I asked myself these questions. What are the ABCs? What are the fundamentals? What are the teachings that no believer can go without? What are the materials that can build a pathway towards maturity to help them avoid the temptations and struggles that we all face, especially in the beginning years of our Christian walk? And over again, as I was asking myself these questions, I couldn't get away from the fact that one of the most important things that we all need to learn about and know personally and intimately is the subject of faith. This topic was essential, was vital. I knew it was so significant and so important that if I was going to begin any teaching, I needed to go with this first pillar of our Christian walk. And as I was studying and meditating on the subject of faith, and I was seeking some clarity on what it means and how I can develop the teachings for the people that were going to digest this information, I was confronted over and over again with the fact that I knew very little of the importance of faith, the significance of faith. And the reason why I was finding this out is because as I asked myself questions, why do we need faith? And where does faith come from? And why the word puts so much emphasis towards it, I didn't have answers for it. Issues, more questions than answers begin to rise in my mind. And as I was meditating and studying throughout the years and praying, I have believed to come to some solutions to some of these problems. I have some answers that have been of satisfaction for me, and I'm attempting to share with you right now, so hopefully it will be of satisfaction for you. And the answer that came to me came in the form of a principle. I'm going to share it with you right now. Why is faith so important? Because faith is the only vision that allows me to see God for who He really is. I'm going to say that one more time. Faith is the only vision that allows me to see God's true nature, His true self. It opens my mind to comprehend the reality and the depth of God's essence. Now, I have attempted to explain this in many ways, so many times, and every time I struggle when I'm trying to convey this message. So here we go one more time. Pray for me as I'm trying to dialogue with you on this subject. Why is faith the only vision that allows you to see God for who He really is? Because God is a spirit. He's eternal. He's self-sustained. He's self-contained. He's always exceeding His own glory. His existence and reality does not require an explanation. He's from everlasting to everlasting. Now, if God desires somebody to worship Him in the level of excellence that He deserves, in the truthfulness of who He really is, any manifestation that He gives can be distracting, can be deceitful, superficial, fictitious, illusory. So God desires to give us the best way, the best method that will not allow us to fall into the trap of idolatry, that will not reduce Him and limit Him to something that is other than what He truly can be and He really is. Now, this is a big challenge for God, because how can God, that is undescribable in His nature, that cannot be defined, how can He give us a tool by which we can know Him intimately, better than the angels and better than any creature that has ever existed? I believe that faith is the solution that God has for this problem. He has given to us in our own essence, in our own existence, to experience what God experiences inside of Himself. Think with me for a second. I know I'm going in a deep end in this one, but hang on with me. If God is eternal, and he doesn't require an explanation. He just knows his awesomeness. He just knows his reality. He's just aware that he's the ground of all existence. And he has hidden that within ourselves, because as we become conscious, aware, the only reason we can function in the world with ourselves and others around us, with our own identity and our own inner reflections, is by just trusting, believing, and knowing that we are real, that we exist. I cannot prove my own existence, but I just know by faith, by the essence of the image of God in me, if you will. I know what God experiences within himself, inside of himself, because he has given me this knowledge of faith. Without trusting that I exist and that the world around me and my experience of it is real, I cannot build memories. I cannot have content to my consciousness. I cannot believe and trust my own cognitive abilities. I cannot interact or exchange with tomorrow. I would doubt and unbelief and skepticism would collapse my own identity. So I can just only go around on and be successful and effective living if I accept the presupposition that faith is the essence for all reality. And this is vital because God has hidden this knowledge within me. And now when I come to him, I understand the scripture that says, he that cometh to God must first believe that he is. He's pushing me towards this understanding. He's leading me towards this realm of spiritual knowledge. He's forcing me to reflect upon this epistemological understanding of faith, because without it, I will not know him intimately, and he cannot reveal himself in his true essence and nature. And the doorway for the spiritual realm, for a spirit that is eternal and that is always exceeding in majesty and glory his own excellence, is faith. And faith does not reduce God in definitions. Faith does not limit God in idolatry. I do not have preconceived ideas, or I don't worship the opinions of what I think of him. I trust that his revelation will reveal who he is to me. And then I trust that not only he exists, but he's a rewarder. Everything he says is trustworthy, is faithful. He will bring it to pass. I can go from glory to glory, ever increasing faith, understanding, and knowing him better. That's why faith is relational. It's always leading me towards intimacy. Any faith that I claim to have that does not lead me to take the mask of my own carnality and does not reveal my own identity in the knowledge of who God is, and does not lead me to get closer in relationship with him, is false faith. Because faith is always personal. It's always a manifestation and revelation of who God truly is. Faith is the only vision that allows me to see God for who he really is. Until next time, this is Pastor Ruben Torres. I'm praying total fulfillment and realization for your life. Keep hoping, loving, and believing God's best, for the power of God is still coming nigh to us. God bless you.